Hello.
Then. Now.
Countdown to the queens.
Episode number 500.
Forever.
Looks like hell froze over.
Without any more further ado,
Together.
let's jump straight into the show. Hello, I'm looking at episode number, I think it's 112 of the TEW IX Challenge Run. We're here for Monday Night Raw, and it's the Monday, the 24th of February, 2025, and it is the go-home show for Roadblock. We're finally nearly there. The final stop on the road to WrestleMania, as we're like 10 days away from the show in real life. But it's fine, I'm sort of just going at my own pace. I've accepted after the Rumble, though I was never going to get to Mania in time, so yeah. You know, we're relaxing, we're chilling. We'll get there when we get there. But tonight we do have a WWE Championship main event. CM Punk will defend the championship against Montez Ford. We will also have a summit featuring the members of the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge. Mackie will face Jada Parker. What's the other match I pre-announced for tonight? Oh, Trick Williams versus Gunther. And to kick off the night, Daniel Bryan is over from SmackDown. He's got a big announcement here in New Orleans, because we are in New Orleans. So let's see. Yeah. Without any more further ado, let's jump straight into the show. Okay, so I've just fixed Daniel Bryan's stale gimmick, and he got a very good one. It's fine. But yes, Daniel Bryan comes to the ring. You know, he does his entrance. Yes. He takes the microphone. And he goes, I know I'm not usually supposed to be here on Monday Night Raw, but, hell, it's WrestleMania season, and I just couldn't not show up tonight in New Orleans. Now, we are now 8 weeks away from WrestleMania 41. That'll be taking place in Las Vegas, Nevada. The first time WrestleMania has come to Las Vegas in, 32 years? It's sure going to be one hell of a show, and I know it's going to be one hell of a show because Daniel Bryan will be there. Now, over the past year, you've witnessed a very different side of me. You've witnessed a side of me that for the first time since I've been started doing this, even when I was retired for 3 years, I knew one day I'd be back in this ring. But this past year has been different because this past year I've been wrestling on a different time. I've been wrestling on Father Time. And I made the announcement a few months ago that WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas this year will be the end of my full-time in-ring career. Now, obviously the word full-time means I'm not giving this thing up completely. At least, not yet. So, if Daniel Bryan is retiring from full-time competition at WrestleMania, just when will he hang it up for good? So that's why I want to come out here in New Orleans, a very special place in my heart. It was this city that WrestleMania was born, the miracle on Bourbon Street took place. Without your voices, I never would have made it there. Without your voices, I never would have become a WrestleMania main eventer, a multi-time world champion in the biggest industry, or the biggest company in the professional wrestling industry. A guy like me. And then next time WrestleMania came to New Orleans, it was when I returned after 3 years on the shelf. I was told I would never wrestle again, but there I was in the same arena where WrestleMania was born, back into the ring, beginning a new chapter of my career. And the next time I stand in the ring in the Superdome, I won't be beginning a new chapter of my career. I'll be closing it for good. So, New Orleans, I'm out here to announce that next year, the biggest event of the year, WrestleMania 42, is coming to New Orleans. It's coming back to the Superdome. And I couldn't think of a better building, a better arena, a better city to call an end to the career of Daniel Bryan. My career may be slowing down after WrestleMania this year, but next year it ends for good. But that's a whole year away. I don't want this to be a down note, because you guys in New Orleans, you're loud, you're rowdy. So if you're gonna be at WrestleMania in New Orleans, can I get yes, 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 yes? He's interrupted by Gunther. And Gunnar just smiles as he gets into the ring. He goes, "You know, Bryan, I'm actually so glad that you're here tonight. You know, when I was told I had to come to New Orleans, I wasn't exactly thrilled about it, but I knew I just had to be here to hear what you had to say on my show. So, Bryan, it's more retirement talk. I think I can speak for everybody here in New Orleans when I say we're tired of hearing you talk about full-time retirement, then permanent retirement. Just hurry up and get it over with already. Because, Daniel Bryan, here's the thing. There are a lot of people around this world who consider yourself one of the greatest professional wrestlers to ever do it. Maybe in years past I'd have been among those people. You used to be an inspiration for me when I was wrestling in Germany. But now, I look at you, I see a weak, fragile old man who needs to be put out for pasture. Which is why I came here, Daniel Bryan, while I knew you were out here, to tell you this. I did not forget about you embarrassing me at the Royal Rumble. So I just want to give you a warning. This fairy tale ending you've crafted for yourself, where next year you're going to retire in an arena that means so much to you. You may be getting a bit ahead of yourself, because if you dare step in ring general business like that again, and make a mockery of me, you won't retire next year at WrestleMania. You'll retire when I say you'll retire, because I'll beat your ass so bad you won't be able to step back into this ring again." And Braun Strowman just smiles at him. He goes, "You know, Gunther, when I came here to Monday Night Raw tonight, I was kind of hoping I'd see you. Because you called it embarrassment at the Royal Rumble. I called it taking advantage of a match where everybody is in it for themselves and everybody wants to go to be the main event of WrestleMania. You know, because you won the damn thing last year. But from our brief interactions in that Royal Rumble match, Gunther, I've heard so much hype about you. I've heard so many people say that you may be the best wrestler in WWE today. And that was always something that intrigued me. So I had to come and see for myself what all the hype was about. And if I'm being real, Gunther, not much." Gunther just laughs and goes, "Not much, okay? I think you're lying to yourself, Bryan. I guess with all those concussions you've had over the years are making your brain wonky, because I know I'm better on my worst day than you ever were. You see, Daniel Bryan, I have never lost the World Championship in 18 seconds. And Bryan's like, "Okay, yeah. Okay, that was a very embarrassing match, but, you know, what happened to my career after the fact? I wouldn't change that for the world, but tell me, Gunther, can you ever remember me losing the WWE Championship after just 2 weeks Because I got screwed out of it when Money in the Banks were cashing on me while my back was turned. You stepped into the ring with another man and got your ass beat. Gaffer goes, so this is what you want to do, huh? You want to make jokes? Well, I say, pull up a steel chair right now, take a seat at ringside, and you can watch what happens when a real WrestleMania headliner, the real greatest professional wrestler in this sport, steps into this ring and makes a mockery of an embarrassing entertainer like Trick Williams right now. Braun goes, well, I did have a plane to catch, I think, but, sure, I'll stick around, Gunther. Wow me. So yeah, a lot to digest there. The WrestleMania New Orleans announcement, doing it with Daniel Bryan felt right, and it felt like the right place to. I know it's a bit much having his full-time career end at WrestleMania this year and then doing the same thing again next year, basically. But it's fate. If he was still wrestling in WWE in real life, they should have him have his last match in the Superdome in New Orleans. In reality, they should reach out to AEW and induct him into the Hall of Fame there next year as well, because it's so fitting. But yeah, but Bryan is still here. He's at ringside watching Trick Williams against Gunther. Gets an 87. We'll take that. Gunther defeats Trick Williams with the Golden Bomb in 13:56. 78 for Trick Williams, 93 for the Ring General. And, after the match, Gunther, he drops him with the powerbomb, he pins him, he stands up, he has his hand raised. And, he looks at ringside and he sees Daniel Bryan, clapping him. He goes, yeah, good job. Great stuff. You're a hell of a wrestler. And then Trick, he looks down at Bryan, clapping him, and he just shakes his head. He then locks Trick Williams in, the clutch, the sleeper hold. And, Trick's starting to pass out. He's, trying to fire himself up, and then he keeps falling to the floor. The crowd's stirring, they're chanting Daniel Bryan's name, going, yes, 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 yes. As Bryan eventually does rise to his feet, he slides into the ring, and he tries to pull Gunther off of Trick Williams. He does pull him off. He starts delivering the yes kicks when Ludwig Kaiser comes in, and he drops Daniel Bryan as well. Kaiser keeps the attack on Bryan as as Gunther gets to his feet. He starts booting Daniel Bryan in the face, and then he picks Bryan up and he drops Bryan with some big chops and a powerbomb of his own. And Trick and Ludwig walk out with. I said Trick and Ludwig, didn't I? Gunther and Ludwig walk out with Trick and Daniel Bryan down on the floor. We then cut backstage. We get a recap of the last week's closing segment. AJ Styles coming back, and Kathy Kelly's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my guest, the phenomenal AJ Styles." Kathy goes, AJ, last week you made your return here to WWE Raw. Finn Balor, you saved Raw General Manager Bobby Roode from attack by the Demon Balor. So AJ, what you got anything to say to Finn? And AJ says, I've got a lot to say to Finn, Kathy. And I'm not here to, do the whole thing where, I actually want to speak to Balor, the demon, not Finn, the man, because they're one and the same thing. Finn can walk around here pretending it's this demon face paint that's making him act up, but in reality, it's because he's going insane, Kathy Kelly. This is a guy I've known for so long, and back in the days when he used to do this stuff, he used to paint himself up, he used to channel this demon. It took him to this dark place for sure, but what I'm seeing now, it's almost like he is the demon. Finn Balor and Balor the Demon are not two different entities, Kathy. They're merging into one crazy, unhinged human. And I've got to deal with it. But I don't have to deal with it, Kathy. But I wanna. I feel like I need to deal with it. That's when Wes Lee walks in. He goes, AJ, what are we doing here? Finn Balor, this demon, has been running roughshod on Raw of the past few months while you were at home nursing a poor little neck injury. You didn't have any interest in coming to save us all that time you were away, huh? And she goes, you know what, kid? I see what you're doing here. You're trying to pick a fight. And I like that. I respect that. Hell, when I used to be your age, I'd done the exact same thing. Pick on the biggest dog I could find and try and make a name for myself, especially with WrestleMania around the corner. But Wes, you're in luck. Because I I do need to, get my working boots back on. I need to get myself back into the swing of things and doing what I can in the ring. So, I'll see you out there tonight, kid. So AJ Styles, his return to in-ring action will be against Wes Lee later on tonight. We then cut to Gorilla. Tiffany Stratton's there with Mariah May, and Anne-Marie Porter is in her gear. She goes, okay, Anne-Marie. Last week, that witch bitch, this spooky, whatever's going on with Alexa, I don't even know. But, she got involved in our business. She took Mariah down. Okay, we don't accept that here. We don't accept mediocrity, okay? Because what you need to do is you need to go out there and you need to teach a lesson to Alexa Bliss that she can go stay in as many ice castles as she wants, if that's what she even is. If she thinks she's some sort of Disney princess. But what she really is a liability. Somebody this division doesn't need to stick around. And she's going to learn the hard way, whether it's through Mariah or through you or myself, that we're not waiting around for Alexa to, pick out her next victim or do whatever she does in her own time while she's off in her own fantasy world, being forgotten and looking for revenge on all those who abandoned her. It runs on Tiffy time. And once Alexa is out of the way, WrestleMania is on the horizon. I can't think of a better place for Tiffy to finally become a champion on Monday Night Raw. So we do cut to the match. It is Anne-Marie Porter against Alexa Bliss. Oh my god, it gets an 80. Holy shit. For Alexa Bliss versus Anna Jay. Okay, yeah. Fuck it, we ball. Alexa wins 9 minutes and 1. Twisted Bliss. Or with the Abigail DDT move that I have yet to name, because I haven't really thought about it since the last time I recorded. But yes, Alexa does pick up the win in 9 minutes and 1. 78 for Alexa, 76 for Anne-Marie. So another one of Tiffany's, lackeys defeated here tonight. But as Alexa stands up and she gets her hand raised, I say celebrating, but she doesn't really celebrate because she's very stoic. Tiffany Stratton does jump Alexa Bliss. Taking her out from behind, she rains the attack in on her. She orders Anne-Marie and Mariah to join in. And the Blonde Blobbies do leave Alexa Bliss laying. She drops her, they take her down. She hits the PME. And her and Mariah and Anne-Marie walk out. So yeah, Tiffany Stratton getting one over on Alexa Bliss here tonight. Speaking of women, I guess. I don't know where the segue was going. We get a quick video recap of Rhea Ripley's return as part of the Battle Royal last week, and, the graphic for the Summit, because she'll be a part of the Summit later on tonight. We just see Rhea backstage, warming up. When Tatum Paxi walks into frame, she goes, "Mommy! I'm so glad you're back. Things have not been going so well for me and for this women's division without you." And Rhea goes, "Tatum, I don't know if you saw last week, but, I'm kind of busy. And, you got in my way last week. I understand if you feel betrayed by that, but it's every woman for herself, and I need to get back to the top. I need to get my championship back. So, I haven't really got a lot of time to deal with your issues, Tatum, but what I can bestow on you is some advice." She's like, "Okay, Mommy, what is it?" She goes, "This whole time you've been trying to be like me, trying to replace me with a championship or a possession. If I'm going to become a champion at WrestleMania, which I am, you need to look out for yourself. Stop trying to replace me or trying to be like me. Be yourself. And most importantly, the most important piece of advice of all, Tatum, and I need you to listen to this real close. Read my lips if you have to. Stay out of my way. Because last week, I had to do what I had to do to take care of you. Next time, I won't have any hesitation." And she walks off, and Sam's like, "Got it, Mommy. Go be yourself. Go become a champion, Tatum. I already planned on doing that, but I hear that Stephanie's got this Intercontinental Championship match with Piper Niven up next, and it's, well, I guess it can't hurt to check it out, see what happens." And then cut back, Trick Williams meets up with Daniel Bryan. And he goes, yo, Bryan. He goes, hey, Trick, how you doing? How you holding up? He goes, you know, man, I got lucky having you out there tonight. If you weren't there, who'd have known what Imperium would have done to me after that match? Bryan goes, well, no problem, Trick. Gunther ran his mouth to me, so I thought I'd only return the favor and, get one back on him. And Trick goes, that's great, but it's not just Gunther, it's that Ludwig too. Wherever Gunther goes, he goes, and they're like a group, but you can't separate them. So, I can deal with one of them maybe, but not both. And Bryan's like, well, how about I go speak to Bobby Roode, and at Roadblock, you and I seem to have two common enemies here, so I'll see if I can get the tag team match made, you and me against Gunther and Ludwig. Trick goes, I bet I'll see you there, Bryan. It'll be great, to team with one of the greatest wrestlers to ever do it. A man who, they teach a lot of you in the Performance Center. And it's going to be sad to see you go next year. Bryan goes, thanks, but with guys like you here to step up, I'm sure I'm leaving this place in great hands when I do. Let's all just shake hands. And yeah, tag team match set for Roadblock. It'll be Bryan and Trick against Imperium. 87, let's go. This is why Wes Lee got the spot, because I knew it would be a banger. Wes doesn't have, an actual story heading into WrestleMania this year, so, his spot on these shows for the minute is just to... Well, he had the filler TV feud with Dijak just to give him something to do, but other than that, is to, look good while losing, and then he'll find his spot again, hopefully after Mania. But yeah, AJ does pick up the win in 13 minutes and 40 with the Styles Clash. 74 for AJ, 89 for Wes Lee. And then after the match, AJ takes the mic. He says, earlier on, when I met up with Kathy Kelly, she asked me about things between myself and Finn Balor. And while I gave a little bit to her, I thought the best place to come out here and address everything with Finn would be in front of you people here in New Orleans. And I see the history between me and Finn, it needs no introduction. Ever since I came to WWE, he's been here. He actually made it to WWE before I did. But we had this bond that we've shared from our time in Japan together. That's what led to us becoming a tag team. A damn good tag team, if I do add it. So with that, former World Tag Team Champions. But somewhere along the line, Finn, or should I say, I lost my way. I'm not saying Finn didn't too, but I lost my way. So I sort of pulled the wool over your eyes a bit last year, and I contemplated hanging it up for good. Now, everybody calls it AJ Styles' fake out retirement. Don't get twisted. The idea of calling it a day really did cross my mind. But there was still so much I had left to do. But it was in that moment where I stuck a knife in Finn Balor's back. Now, somebody who prides themselves on loyalty and brotherhood like I do, I admit that I shouldn't have done my friend like that, my partner like that. But I did. I can't take that back now. But what I didn't envision happening was what it would do to Finn. You see, Finn, after that night, he lost himself completely. He was coming out here, he was looking for replacement tag team partners every single week, and he was losing time after time after time. The Finn Balor of old was gone. He was dead. He retired when AJ Styles didn't. But instead, Finn, he's awoken to this other side of him, this side of him that he used to only bring out every now and again to psych himself up for a big fight. But instead of the demon only appearing when Finn needed him the most, it seems we see the demon more than we see Finn nowadays. And I'm not stupid. I can see exactly who caused this. I did. I created this demon. It's very ironic that, a guy with my upbringing, a guy with my religion, would bring a demon into this world. So it's not just you people that I'm disappointing, it's my entire family, everybody that knows me, for bringing this demon into the world, which is why I have to be the man tasked to take him out of it. Now, Finn, I've been preparing my whole life to fight demons. I was hoping the day would never come, but you ain't the kind of demon that we're taught to fear. You are just a man in paint. A crazy man in paint. A very talented, dangerous man in paint. But a man in paint. And if you are in this demon mindset now because of me, then I know I've broken you, Finn. I know I'm the only man responsible to hold the keys to putting the demon out to pasture for good. Last week you tried to hurt my friend Bobby Roode. A guy who I've been through so much with in this industry. You tried to end my career. You tried to retire me. So wherever you are, Finn Balor, if you want to be known by that, if you just want to be known as Balor because you think you're this demon, I'm coming for you. And the next time you and I are in this ring, it's your head. That's when Finn interrupts. Finn Balor the man, not the demon. Goes, AJ, long time no see, buddy. How you holding up? I don't think I've seen you since God, it was Survivor Series. You were the WWE champion. You lost to Finn Balor to CM Punk, right? Punk, he's still the undisputed champion right now. But don't worry, AJ. I know you can get it back. And I know you're probably thinking it's weird seeing me coming out here right now, AJ. But I forgive you. I forgive you, AJ. I understand where you were coming from. You just wanted to get a leg up and retire to try and get a head up to become the next WWE champion. And it worked. You became the WWE champion. You lost it, but you became the WWE champion nonetheless. But your career is back on track now, AJ Styles. As far as I'm concerned, if all of the issues between us, it's water under the bridge. And he offers a handshake out to AJ. And AJ looks confused. He goes, I don't know who you think you're trying to fool here, but it ain't me. You can walk around here pretending that you ain't did all that stuff to me. You didn't try to end my career. You could pretend that weren't you, Finn. But we all know it was. So, as far as I suggest, you drop the bull crap and you face me man to man. But until that time comes, I'll be waiting. And AJ walks off, and you can see Finn. He's still smiling as AJ walks away, but then of course his face does turn to angry as he glares at AJ for I guess calling him out on his bullshit. Then cut back to Tegan and Piper. Tegan's gassing her up. She goes, "Listen, I know I came up short in my chance against Stephanie, but as tag team partners, I'm gonna be in your corner. As your best friend, I'm gonna be in your corner." WrestleMania is just around the corner, and I would love for you to walk into WrestleMania as the Intercontinental Champion, Piper. And hey, who knows? Maybe it'll be you and I wrestling for the championship at WrestleMania. Because, WrestleMania going in as champion, there was a lot of pressure. Let me just get through tonight first, Tegan, and then we can discuss WrestleMania. Sure, great. I don't want to put too much pressure on you, on your head, and in your mind ahead of this championship match. But yeah, good luck. Piper Niven goes out, and we do get the IC Championship match. It's Piper Niven against Stephanie Vaquer, and Tatum Paxley crashes it. She attacks Stephanie, causing a DQ in 13 minutes and 17, so I guess technically Stephanie makes the next defense of her championship, but at what cost, because she doesn't pin Piper. 89 for Stephanie, 77 for Piper. After the match, Tatum, she grabs the IC title from ringside, she starts hammering in on Stephanie. Piper gets to her feet. She shoves Tatum to the floor. Tatum tries to start fighting back on Piper. Tegan runs out. Tegan accidentally gets clocked by Piper Niven. Tatum laughs at it. Stephanie gets involved. Big brawl. And, yeah. Another big brawl between these four women. Who or what could possibly be the solution here? Well, we don't have got to wait long to find out, because Stephanie Vaquer, she does march her way to the back. And, she bumps into Bobby Roode, who's waiting to go out for the Women's Summit. And she says, hey, next week, I want all of them. Fatal 4-way. And Bobby Roode goes, you sure? She goes, positive, and walks off. Bobby Roode goes, great. And then Tiffany Stratton walks in. She goes, Bobby. I can't help but, was that Stephanie, the little Intercontinental Champion around here? She got another defense next week in this big fatal 4-way match. And I know there's a lot going on in your head and a lot going on in this division, but you saw how I took care of Alexa earlier on tonight, right? I only think it's fitting that the next woman in line for a shot at the championship is me. Bobby goes, it could well be, Tiffany, but you've got to earn that shot now. If you do excuse me, I've got a summit to host. And he goes out. Come back, Bobby Roode standing in the middle of the ring. And everybody's already in the ring. All of the women have already made their entrance. And they're all standing at a different podium in the middle of the ring. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this Saturday night at Roadblock in the UFC Apex, we will see the main roster WWE debuts of a popular match type from NXT. A brainchild of the Heartbreak Kid himself, Shawn Michaels. The Iron Survivor Challenge. Now in the match, 5 women will compete. 2 women start out. Every 5 minutes, another woman will enter. If you get a pinfall or submission, you score a point. And the woman who is pinned or submitted will be forced to stay in a penalty box for 90 seconds. At which point they can re-enter the match. Whichever woman has the most points at the end of the match will win the Iron Survivor, be declared the Women's Iron Survivor winner, and will earn a shot at the WWE Women's Champion Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. Now please let me introduce your participants. Then Becky speaks. Bobby, I can take it from here. I don't need you to introduce moi. A, I don't need no introduction, and B, you can't do it as well as I can. So, New Orleans, NOLA, please get on your feet, because your inaugural Women's Iron Survivor winner on the WWE main roster is here, Becky Stardust. Now, as part of this summit, we all need to take in turns of, hyping up this confusing-ass match this Saturday night at Roadblock. But I'm not going to do that, because everybody knows who's going to win. It's going to be me. I've proven over the past year that I am the woman who carries this division on her back when times needed the most. Last year at WrestleMania, the 4 horsewomen, all 4 of us, these great, inspirational women's wrestlers who put women's wrestling on the map, finally completed our story by having our 4-way main event. And here we are a year later, and only Becky Stardust is in the spotlight. Sure, you got Bayley over there. Look at her. Bayley's over, like, awkwardly smiles, like, hey, Becky. He goes, last year, Bayley took my WWE Women's Championship at WrestleMania, and I haven't forgotten about that. But, Bayley, this Iron Survivor is not for you to win. Rhea! This Iron Survivor is not for you to win. Another woman who has taken my Women's Championship in the main event of WrestleMania. They sure are compiling a rogues gallery of my greatest enemies to try and stop me. But it's going to take more than that. Bianca. Gonna be honest, I don't think you and I have ever really met. But you're a hell of a competitor. I've heard a lot about you. But you're no Becky Stardust. You get to finally experience the rub on Saturday night. And I think that's it. Those are all 4 of the women in the match that are going to be of a threat to me, but it doesn't make a lick of difference. Because I'm going to stack you and pin you all. Pin every single one of you down. Go on to WrestleMania and beat that big bitch Jade Cargill and become the champion once again. Because the championship needs me. I don't need the championship. The championship needs me. And that is why I'm going to win it. Other women, you may now speak. She drops the microphone on the floor. And Bianca goes, well, Becky, thank you for, finally being gracious enough to give us the opportunity to speak. Now, see, I'm not like Becky. I'm not out here to, talk about myself. I'm out here to talk about WrestleMania. I'm here to talk about WrestleMania 3 or 4, it was 4 years ago, where I walked in as the Royal Rumble winner and I won the championship in the main event of WrestleMania to become the women's champion. Ever since that day, everybody's known who and what I am, and that is that I am the franchise player, the EST of the women's division here in WWE. But, for me to get back to that championship, I've got to go through not only 4 of the toughest competitors of the women's division right now, and some of the most tough women's division competitors of all time, but I've also got Jade Cargill waiting at the end of it. And Jade, ever since she debuted here in WWE, people have seen her as like a parallel to Bianca Belair, because there can only be one alpha female in this division, I guess. But Jade, it may be you right now, but once the EST's back in your line of sight, it ain't gonna be you for much longer. It's gonna be me. And then Bayley speaks. Because Bianca, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't gotten over the Netflix premiere and you beating me to become the women's Intercontinental Champion, or not become, but to advance to the final of the women's Intercontinental Championship tournament. You crushed my dreams to finally become a champion again. But now this opportunity has arisen. My year so far in 2025 hasn't exactly got off to the best start. But the Iron Survivor is a chance to turn this all around, because you haven't got to be the strongest, the quickest, the baddest, the best, or whatever it is you want to say about yourself. You've just got to think hardest. You've just got to think, you've got to be the smartest. And you can say that is you, Bianca, but I've got my strategy planned out for this match. I've been studying every Iron Survivor challenge they've done down in NXT. This match, it's mine to lose, because last year I walked out of the main event of WrestleMania as the WWE Women's Champion, and I plan on doing that again this year for the second straight year, becoming the first ever woman to main event 3 WrestleManias back to back to back. Because I'm finally on that level. For the first time in my career, I know I am as good as I say I am. So for me to be the underdog in this match after everything I've done, please overlook me. Because the next time you'll be looking at me in any way will be when I'm in the main event of WrestleMania. Now Riott takes the mic. She goes, cute, Bayley. But, you've had your little fantasy reality last year. WrestleMania often makes a lot of people's dreams come true, and that happened to you, Bayley, last year when you became the champion. You won the main event of WrestleMania. But this isn't about fantasy. This is about reality and me reclaiming what is mine. Bianca came out here saying she wants to be the alpha of this division, but that's not going to be the case because mommy is home. Now, Jade Cargill thinks she's the alpha of this division, but I remember last year at WrestleMania when Jade got embarrassed on the grandest stage of them all. Jade got beaten in less than a minute by me, and I took her championship. And Jade's great revenge for that was to attack me at SummerSlam, cost me 7 months of my damn career. I didn't even know if I was going to make WrestleMania this year. So yes, this is about me reclaiming that spot. This is about me getting the WWE Women's Championship. But one thing I can say about myself more than all of you can say about yourselves is that this isn't just about the championship. This is personal between me and Jade. And I can rip the heads off every single one of you that I can to get to her. And when I do, we don't have to leave it to chance. I know she's mine. Bianca's, well, Rhea, that was a great thing you've got going on there. Just a shame that it's not going to go down that way, because we all know what happens when you and I share a ring. I put you down. And that's going to happen again this Saturday night at Roadblock. And then Becky goes, no. Becky Stardust gets the last word. Okay? And she just sort of stands there and pauses, and she goes, at Roadblock. And she spots Jade Cargill coming down the ramp. And Jade Cargill gets onto the ring. She gets onto the apron. She gets into the face of Rhea Ripley. Rhea headbutts Jade. She goes to hit a riptide on Jade, but Becky jumps her on the back. A big fight breaks out. Lyra gets involved. She's fighting Bayley. Bayley and Becky, fight to the outside. Bianca goes to hit Becky with her braid, but Becky pulls Lyra in the way. She takes the braid shot instead. She takes a KOD. Becky tries to jump Bianca. They brawl to the outside. Rhea drops Bayley. Jade then grabs Rhea Ripley from behind. She goes to nail Jade in on Rhea, but Rhea scoots out of the back. She drops Jade Cargill with a riptide in the middle of the ring. And then Rhea's music's playing. She's standing tall. She bends down to pick up the championship. And Bianca also slides in, and she picks up the other side of the championship. And they lock eyes as they both hold either side of the championship. Bianca gets to her feet, staring down with Rhea Ripley. Jade Cargill gets to her feet in the background. She orders Bivens to get in there and take the championship. He does. He sneaks in and snatches the belt off both of them, and he leaves with the belt. But yeah, tensions here. Who's gonna go to WrestleMania? I'll tell you who's not gonna be. It's not gonna be either of these three women: Roxy Perez, Cora Jade, and Nova Nebula backstage. And Cora goes, "Come on, look. We got a defense on Saturday night. Becky and Lyra, they're out there right now. Let's jump them. Let's get a one up on Billy and Kelly ahead of our championship match." Roxy goes, "Cora, as much as I want to do that, and I would enjoy doing that, we can't do that, and you know why. Okay, Becky's still on our case for something we didn't do, but if we do this and if we did that and we did attack them, it would definitely help us out heading into Roadblock. But Becky sure as hell would be back on our case. We don't particularly want Becky back on our case right now." Cora goes, "No, that's perfectly valid, but it would have been nice to get the upper hand heading into Roadblock." Nova goes, "Well, surely you don't need the upper hand against these two losers anyway. You're the Great Women's Tag Team Champions. One of them's a 20-year-old rookie, and the other one is a tag team partner of another woman who's not the woman she's teaming up with for the tag team championships at Roadblock. I don't see what the big issue is. At least you are champions. At least you will be at WrestleMania. As for me, I was promised the world, and I've not yet got the world." Roxy goes, "Nova, you're moaning again. You're bumming us all out. Here's the thing. You're right. Things aren't exactly all yours right now. But to say we've done nothing for you, you're wrong. Take a look around and smell the roses, Nova. You're in our elite circle. You're protected for the future. If you got the Royal Rumble and didn't go your way, but you cost Charlotte the chance to go to WrestleMania. That must mean something after, 2 years ago where she crushed your dreams, right?" Nova goes, "Oh yeah, and it's nice to always cost a Nepo baby industry plant the chance to go to WrestleMania, but I'm more than just your lackey, okay? There's a reason I'm not in with you people, yes, because while I may reap the rewards that you and Punk are offering, I don't trust you, I don't like you. But get me at WrestleMania, and I'll reconsider." .65 rated tag match. Idris and Malik face the Guns. The Guns pick up a win. Austin Gunn pinning Malik Blade with a 310 to Yuma in 6:37. 53 for Colton, 60 for Austin, 55 for Malik, 54 for Idris. After the match, Jay White, he gets in the ring, he's celebrating, and he grabs the microphone. He goes, Cody Rhodes, you're not here tonight. That's probably fine, because you're probably running away with your tail between your legs after the King Switch embarrassed you on the microphone last week. But it's cool, because I'll see you tomorrow night on ECW, won't I? Because we're both a part of this Iron Survivor Challenge, yes. And on Saturday night, it's going to be even better for me when Jay White, the King Switch, crushes the American Nightmare's WrestleMania dreams, because you're supposed to be the guy around here, right? For the past 2 years, Cody Rhodes main eventing WrestleMania and World Championship matches, but this year, you're going to have to scratch and claw to get there, and you won't get there because I will. Last year at WrestleMania, I made my debut. 1 year later, you're looking at the next World Champion. That's when the grand jury come out. And Priest goes, Jay White, you're saying a lot of things. You're a great competitor. But as part of this ongoing thing here on Monday Night Raw, we'd be remiss if we didn't come out here and, stick up for a man who we've said we'd have his back, and that's Cody Rhodes. You see, Cody, he's been taking the fight to CM Punk ever since CM Punk became the WWE Champion. And then Jay White's like, because of him, yeah. Because in either case, Cody Rhodes, he's trying to make things right around here. He's trying to stop CM Punk while you've been sitting around with your thumb up your ass doing your own thing, watching as this place turns to shit around you. Jay White goes, thumb up my ass, doing nothing. I was the Intercontinental Champion for 8 months, mate. Okay? I wasn't worried about what CM Punk was doing, because CM Punk and the WWE Championship weren't the championships I was focused on at the time. I was focused on my championship and being the best Intercontinental Champion I could possibly be. Now, of course, John Cena is the Intercontinental Champion. And I'm not. My focus is indeed on becoming WWE Champion. And I will become WWE Champion at WrestleMania after I win the Iron Survivor Challenge. But Damian Priest, if you want to walk around being Cody's little errand boy, this message can't wait until tomorrow night. So I have to tell you right now, and you make sure the message gets back to Cody. Next week, here on Raw, we want a 6-man tag team match. It'll be me and the Bang Bang Gang, the Ass Boys, against you two and your American hero, Cody Rhodes. Speaking of tag teams and 6-man tag matches, Fracture backstage, after they won that 6-man tag last week, he goes, so right, I've been thinking about it, and, last week when Zergus, he sort of won that match for us, okay, so he does have the right for Path of the Dragon to get the number 1 contendership, because he is a member of Path of the Dragon. He was the tag team champion with Humberto while Cesaro was away, so, he's as valid as anybody. And Axiom goes, yes, we know, Nathan, but what about us? He goes, so, I've been chasing down Bobby Roode all day. He's been kind of busy, but I did manage to leave a note for him, and it was to let him know that we also want next for the WWE the World Tag Team Championships. Then Axiom's like, so he's gonna pick which one of us 2 teams he feels is more appropriate for a tag team championship opportunity. Freddy goes, yeah, he could, or he could just make it a triple threat. And Axiom goes, huh? I hadn't really thought about that. You think the amount of times I've seen triple threat tag team matches be made around here, I'd have considered at one point that maybe this could be a triple threat match, but I hadn't, because, well, I guess I was too focused on the numbers to actually look at the factual matchmaking. And Nathan's like, you're a weird one, aren't you? And he goes, you call it weird, I call it gifted. But one thing's for sure, Nathan. If this championship match is to be ours, we need to be ready for it. We've had enough championship opportunities slip us by right now. We need to be ready for the next one, no matter where it may be. It could be next week, it could be 6 months from now, but we need to get prepared. Nathan goes, alright, mate, yeah. Like, least you can say is thank you for the opportunity. And he goes, I am grateful, but I'll thank you for the opportunity after with the World Tag Team Champions. And then Faye's like, guess that makes sense, yeah. Sure. 66. Jada Parker and Mackie, they had a little bit of a tense thing last week. And yeah, Jada does pick up the win. She pins Mackie in 9 minutes and 27. 41 for Jada, 72 for Mackie. So yeah, nice little win. I feel like Jada needed the win more. You know, since the upset against Bayley, really. She hasn't won too many, like, matches on Raw. So yeah, just give her a nice win. Next week, we're fresh out of Roadblock. We're officially on the full swing on the road to WrestleMania. We're here in Buffalo, New York, and it will feature a Women's Intercontinental Championship Fatal 4-Way that's been brewing for a number of weeks. I guess months, even, in terms of the case of the tension between Tegan and Piper and Tatum. But the champion, Stephanie Vaquer, will defend the championship in arguably her biggest challenge to date, because there's 3 hungry challengers looking for a championship. Those being Tegan Knox, Piper Niven, and Tatum Paxley. Who will be the champion coming out of next week's show? We'll have to wait and see. Plus, a 6-man tag team match is now official as the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, teams with Damian Priest and Buddy Murphy of the Grand Jury to take on the Bang Bang Gang, Switchblade F and Guns, Austin and Colton Gunn, and Jay White. And, sadly, Logan Paul returns to Monday Night Raw. He speaks here on Monday Night Raw for the first time since he was officially brought over since the Netflix debut. You know, we saw him at the Royal Rumble, we saw him at the debut, we saw him 2 weeks ago. But we've yet to hear from Logan, and he will be here next week. Plus, this Saturday's Roadblock card is now official, which includes the finalised lineup for the Men's Iron Survivor Challenge that got finalised on SmackDown this week. It will be Cody Rhodes, Jay White, Roman Reigns, Jacob Fatu, and Sami Zayn, with the winner of that match getting an opportunity for a World Championship at WrestleMania. Plus, a big tag team match is now official as Daniel Bryan and Trick Williams team up to face Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser of Imperium at Roadblock. We then cut to the crowd. Like, we get crowd shots, like, to have a look around, we look at the signs or whatever. When we then cut to ringside, we see Angelo Dawkins pulling up, and he takes a seat in the front row, and everyone's like, well, what the fuck's Angelo Dawkins doing here? And he, like, pulls out a ticket, he shows the security his ticket, he goes, I'm here to watch the main event. Me and his family's with him, you know, his wife, his children, they're here to watch the main event of Monday Night Raw tonight as CM Punk defends the WWE Championship against Montez Ford. 99? Okay, sure, Tez. Pop off, King. But, yes. The match goes exactly as you imagine it does. I imagine a specific spot I had in mind is, like, Montez Ford doing the big dive over the ring post thing to the outside that he does. And, like, landing on his feet and just standing there and taking in the crowd reaction. But it's, like, it's right in front of Dawkins. So, like, he sees, like, as he lands on his feet after doing the dive, he's face to face with Angelo. And Dawkins is, like, sarcastically clapping him on. And you can tell it's getting to Tez. And, like, Dawkins just being there has annoyed him. And then he goes up top to hit a frog splash on Punk. And, like, he hesitates because Angelo Dawkins, like, maybe throws a popcorn at him or something. And he turns around, he sees Dawkins, and he, like, starts mouthing off to him. And then he flies off the top rope for the frog splash. Punk catches him, GTS, and CM Punk retains the WWE Championship. 95 for Punk, 86 for Montez Ford. And then, yeah, security do escort Angelo Dawkins away, I imagine, after he throws the popcorn at Montez Ford. So he's not a factor into the closing segment because, you know, like, that happens. Tez watches Dawkins get carried away and then turns around, hits the frog splash, and Punk catches him then. And, yeah, so Dawkins is out of the picture, so we just get Punk in the ring. He stands tall. The rest of the Antidote join him. And he takes the mic. And he goes, "That right there was another helpless, young, former world champion looking to step up and take this spot from me, but nobody's been man enough to do it yet. Cody Rhodes, Damian Priest, AJ Styles, LA Knight, Montez Ford, all of you have stepped up trying to think you're gonna be the guy to take the WWE Championship from me, to take this ideology from CM Punk, from all of us. Well, that's not happening. WrestleMania is just around the corner, and with this defense tonight, I will officially be walking into WrestleMania as the WWE Champion. And this is a message to whoever it is I'm gonna meet in Vegas. You're not the guy either. For 10 damn years, I spent my entire life worrying about one thing as I tried avenue after avenue, and I kept getting that inkling in the back of my head that told me I hadn't main evented WrestleMania. And this year, it's my show. I am the WWE Champion. My name is CM Punk. And WrestleMania is nothing without me. So whoever you are, Iron Survivor Challenge winner, Cody, my old friend, Jay White, Sami Zayn, Jacob Fatu, Roman Reigns. Or, if for some reason you're stupid and your name is Seth Rollins, and you choose to make the biggest mistake of your career and throw your opportunity away because you wanted to be the big hero, the brave hero who stepped up to take big bad CM Punk down and end this cancer once and for all, you're not good enough, because my name is CM Punk. We are the Antidote. This is our WWE. I am its champion. And I am the best wrestler in the world. '94. Bang. Big show. There's a lot of long segments on this show, like the opener, the summit, AJ's went on for quite a long time. Yeah. But it is the go-home show for Roadblock. We are now officially done with Raw until after Roadblock, where we will know more about the future of WrestleMania from the Raw brand. But first, we've got to get through Heat. Heat kicks off with a pretty good tag team match. Naomi and Shantae, Nightlight, pick up the victory in tag team action over the Page Sisters. Shantae pinning Kylie with a Fisherman Suplex. 86 for Naomi, 74 for Shantae, 52 for Kylie, 62 for Kenzie. So a nice little win for Nightlight. The Pages, they're getting there. You know, they'll soon be like at the level where they can like realistically be integrated into like the main tag team division. But it's been slow and steady with them, like getting opportunities like this recently. But yeah, nice little match. We then got backstage. Alicia Sanford is with Jada Parker following Jada's win on Raw. She goes, "Jada, tonight on Raw, we saw you pick up a big victory over Mackie of J-Flow, what's next for Jada Parker? Because listen here, Alicia. You got all these women, okay? They're all fighting about one thing. They all want to be Intercontinental Champion. I should have been Intercontinental Champion. You remember how I got screwed out of that tournament to become Intercontinental Champion by Bayley and Mackie of J-Flow and all these people? I got revenge on one of them tonight. I need to get my revenge on Bayley because I already beat her in the tournament. But if we're talking about who's next to become Intercontinental Champion, you got everybody throwing their hat into the ring. You got Tatum. You got Tegan, you got Piper. Apparently Tiffany's now trying to get involved too. And whatever Alexa's up to, she wants in it, she can get it as well. But make one thing perfectly clear, Jada Parker has next. And Chelsea Green walks in, she goes, how rude, okay? To start with, things between myself and J-Flow, the greatest J-pop band in the history of WWE, they were tense. But now I understand. Now I understand that we deserve these opportunities. Just because you got lucky of a Mackie tonight doesn't mean that you're going to be the next up for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, because there are 4 more of us that are waiting in the wings. Jada laughs and goes, so you're one of them now, huh? Great. Then I'll see you right here next week on Heat. She walks off and Chelsea goes, well, I didn't really mean to do that, Alicia. Can you tell her no? And she goes, I don't really have, that's not really my job. You gotta go speak to Brandy. Sorry. 76 raid match. Nice little match. Liv Morgan beats Zelina Vega. Sure, yeah, with an Oblivion in 11:59. This I guess can be the version of whatever this Liv Morgan versus Zelina Vega championship match that happened in real life that Liv fans swear down was so great that I remember nothing about. 70 for Liv, 67 for Zelina. So yeah, nice little win for Liv on Heat. Sure. 65 rated tag match. April Halliwell and Myla Grace, they're here from NXT. They're just in tag team action because I wanted to give Sol and Zoe a win. Because they always lose. They're my go-to babyface tag team to lose on Heat. So I wanted to give them a win here tonight. They get one. Sol pinning Myla with the Sol Snatcher in 7:28. 33 for Myla, 54 for April, 63 for Zoe Stark, and a 70 for Sol Ruca. And our main event of Heat gets an 80. Ember Moon defeats JC Jane with the Eclipse in 12:34. 79 for Ember, 72 for JC. So yeah, Ember getting some momentum on her side because she will challenge the Megasis for the Liberty Championship on SmackDown this Friday. And after the match, she cuts a promo into the camera. She doesn't have a mic. She just after a match, she just cuts the promo. She goes, Megasis. It's supposed to be this big, unstoppable goddess. But I saw you cheat to beat Kyrie on Friday. You're looking weak. You understand that this grip you've got on the championship, it's not as strong as you think it is. So you may be the goddess that you think you are. You may be the Liberty Champion. But I'm Ember Moon. I'm the fallen goddess. And after Friday night, I'll be the one to take you down. I'll slay you, and I will be the Liberty Champion. 77. Sure. What matters more than what you thought of the show, mainly of Raw. Do let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time for ECW, where we have new tag team champions, the House of Black, and we're also going to have all of the men's Iron Survivor participants under one roof in one ring. See you then.